Okay, so now it is January 13th, 2022. I don't know, yesterday with all that freaking rain, bloody porch flooding out again, and, you know, the freaking drain needs to be snaked out, and just with all the building around here, it's just pathetic. Anyway, you know, I was out in the fucking rain for like 5 hours yesterday, up and down the stairs, running around looking for stupid shit. Oh. Getting ragged on. So anyway, I gotta finish what I gotta finish. So these are these oranges now. I'm going to work on these oranges today. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to peel them all, slice them, because I'm going to candy them up. First you have to boil them. And then the oranges themselves, I'll probably cut them up, taste them, make sure they're nice and sweet. Cut them up, and then I'm going to just bag them into individual bags. And I'm going to find some place in the freezer, and I'm going to put them in the freezer for now. And then I still have the pears to do. And I'm working on what little bit of sweet potato I have left. So hold on a minute. Okay, so pretty easy, right? Got it all cut and everything. And I'm going to bring it to its first boil. I'm going to do this twice. I'm not going to do it 3 times. Right? Just bring it to a boil, boil for a minute, strain it, start it again, throw your peels in there, boil it again, strain it. Say 3 times, but whatever, I'm only doing it twice. And then now, third time, after the second time, put your peels in there, throw some water in there, throw a bunch of sugar in there, then melt the sugar and just add more sugar, melt a bit more, but just make it really rich, syrupy, right? And then put it on your dehydrator tray, and away you go. Okay, so I gave it a quick boil twice, and then I threw in some fresh water after I strained it, and a whole bunch of sugar so far. And what you do is you boil it, you bring it to a boil, right? Okay? And you're going to make this liquid syrupy. So, bring it to a boil, turn it down on a low, medium boil. Boil it down. I'm going to probably end up adding a bit more sugar, a bit more water. I want it really, really syrupy, right? And just simmer it, you know, cook it down. Get it syrupy. And then when you put it on your trays, but you need syrup, so you have to make syrup, right? After it gets to that point, you put it on your trays. You can sprinkle more sugar on top, right? And you dehydrate. It takes a little while for it to dehydrate, but after it's done, it lasts forever. Put it in a jar, right? Seal it. It's good to go, and it's a good source of vitamin C if you ever need it, right? In terms of, you know, that kind of stuff. So I didn't do no measurements. I just. So yeah, it's pretty straightforward. Just listening to a bunch of, I don't know what, rhetoric. Talk people, that's all it is talk. You see what I'm doing here, right? After you cook down whatever it was that you were boiling this stuff in, just best to throw on a little extra. I mean, whatever is coated, it's going to, it's going to dry up anyway, right? And then we've got just straight up orange peels. Those are just little nibbies that I cut up. Yeah, and then this is, I did the yams, that's the skin. I'm going to dehydrate them, put them in with my plant food. Okay, I don't even know if I was recording. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm listening to this, people. This person here is in British Columbia, Canada. Okay? Apparently, she's interviewing this individual who has a husband that's been in the hospital and blah blah blah, and apparently he's at the Surrey Memorial Hospital now. Maybe I'll play it later and I'll add it in so you can hear them go on about how the Surrey Memorial Hospital, aka where Shimei was, where Sierra was, where Uncle John was, where Amari was born, okay? Going on talking about how half the beds aren't being basically used because they don't have enough staff. It's not as the government is saying in terms of they're being overwhelmed with, you know, problematic individuals coming down with a cold that are hypochondriacs now, okay? It's more like I'm tired. I'm going all day. It's more like there's just not enough staff, so they don't have all the beds open, right? And the staff that they do have, like I said, people are negligent. Okay? They're negligent, whether by intent or with bigotries and prejudices and malicious intent. Whether they're doing it by ignorance in terms of they're just dumb and they are truly uneducated, because I've seen that in the healthcare system out here in British Columbia, Canada. Point is they're going on bitching on about the Surrey Memorial Hospital. Even this one was bitching on about the Surrey Memorial Hospital. But you know what? This one right here, okay? I know she knows about me, people, all right? And she, it's like always a fucking pissing contest, right? You think she'd bring me on her show to talk about what's happened to my family? No, I'll tell you why. Because this individual right here, apparently her husband, was on a ventilator, all this other crap. I think he got the COVID and she had to fight with doctors and she had to fight with nurses, and then they transferred him to the Surrey Memorial, and I guess he's off the ventilator now and he's doing better and he's slowly but surely eating. But the thing is, people, here, you see, here's the crutch. Here is why this individual right here would never help me. And I'm going to put this up on BitChute. Right? And maybe she'll come across my video, or maybe she won't. But you know why she would never help me, people, with my issues that pertain to the community in British Columbia, Canada, en masse? Because illegal organ harvesting is happening out here. Okay? She would never touch that with a 10-foot pole. Oh, she'd interview somebody talking about illegal organ harvesting in China. I've seen her do that, but I'll never, ever, you'll never see this individual interview someone like me, because it's too close to fucking home, okay? She's got her, little clique of, I don't know. Anyway, this individual's husband is on a dialysis machine, people. What does that tell you? He needs a liver. Okay? He's the recipient of the organ. So therefore, his life becomes more important than Shimei's life. Right? His life becomes more important than Sierra's life. Right? His life becomes more important than Amari's life. Because I don't fit in with the clique, people. Right? I just don't sit and fucking talk. Fucking talk. Make myself look like I'm some God's child with my dad's Bible doing God's work. Yeah, okay, we know. You put it out there. You need a liver, right? By any means necessary. Doesn't matter where you get it fucking from, because you won't touch on the subject of illegal organ harvesting happening in the province of British Columbia, Canada now, will you? No. They're going on acting like they're the only ones that have experienced the Surrey Memorial Hospital. Uncle John was medically kidnapped in January of 2015. Okay, that's how many years of a nightmare for me, people? Huh? Throw in Shimei, throw in Sierra, throw in, Amari, right? How many years? 6 years. They're just coming into the game, okay? But do you think they would fucking help me? No. Because for whatever reason, they're above whatever it is that they think I'm below in terms of, they're the epitome of what is right in our society, people. right? Her husband needs a liver. He's on a waiting list for a donation. Yeah, okay.
Fought so hard for us. Let's just fire them because they're not willing to take a vaccine that loses its efficacy within 3 to 5 months. We're now seeing reports. There's an Epic Times report here that I'll show later with my next guest, but basically saying that in Australia there's more vaccinated in the hospitals than unvaccinated, and there's other reports coming out that the vaccinated are not keeping their natural immunity. It's actually deteriorating their body's own immunity to be able to fight this. And so the world's gone stark raving mad, and I'm just so inspired by your courage, Vicki, that you stood your ground. You have fought very, very hard. You've probably had some really bad sleepless nights. And
she stood her ground. Really, really hard. Oh, what have I been doing for the last 6 years, people? Just tippy-toeing around hardcore issues that personally I think maybe individuals like this perpetrate for the simple fact that they fucking ignore it.
Prayerful walks in your...
Unless, of course, it's convenient for them to make it look like they're saying something. Have you noticed that Liberty Talk off of YouTube has disappeared again? Did all that big, huge fundraiser right along with this one pulled in, I don't know, hundreds and hundreds of thousands of dollars to file a freaking lawsuit against what they're talking about? Where the hell did that go? Nowhere. Apparently, the guy that took that money, Rocco, he also takes money from the government under some hardship grant. So not only is he suing the government with the money that this individual, along with Liberty Talk News, Odessa, right, with their rallies, right, hundreds of thousands of dollars later, right, what they're filing the lawsuit against, who knows? Not too many people are benefiting from it. Of course, the government is calling it frivolous. But at the end of the day, right, just up and disappeared off the fucking internet. After you got all that money, up and disappeared. Right? You think these individuals will help me? No. They're more interested in helping somebody that needs a fucking organ now.
Living room alone, I imagine.
And they're making themselves sound sincere about it because they're going on bitching out about Surrey Memorial Hospital. Okay, go into my videos 6 years in the past, month after month after month. That's all I've been bitching about. This is not no news flash with the Surrey Memorial Hospital, okay?
And you've stood strong, and your husband is on the other side of this. So in your heart of hearts, do you see that there's victory on the horizon here, like real victory, like him coming home? Are you waiting for that day?
Yeah, when on my bad days, all I can do is just, cry out to Lord and just say, Lord, I trust you.
See, that's what makes this individual special. She calls on the Lord, right? Where I cuss and swear, right? Because I've been traumatized year after year after year after year after year, basically because of institutional racism that's perpetrated mainly by the public union sector, okay? With a lot of them fucking uppity up white people. And now it's the white people who are being medically kidnapped, locked up in these hospitals, right? Having their assets taken away from them, or quite possibly being murdered like a Joan Duncan, or medically kidnapped like an Uncle John and then just tucked away like a dirty secret, right? I mean, that's going to go on for quite a long time because we've got about 15 years of baby boomers coming in, right? Wanting their pensions, and the government's not going to want to pay it out. And that's why they're bringing in all these immigrant workers from God knows what country, any country. And this is what they're bitching on about. They're bitching on about that these nurses that they got working at the Surrey Memorial Hospital right now can't even change their freaking gloves after they change somebody's ass in terms of a diaper.
You're my all in all. You're my everything, and my focus is on you. My hope is in you because you're it, right? I'm hoping to get him home. Like I said, the hospital, it really is deplorable. Staff is lacking. You know, I've had to show the nurses a couple times, you know, oh, he doesn't need an IV. This is one of the lines. He had 2 permanent lines put in.
This is nothing new, people. It's been like that for a long time. What were they doing with Amari when they were giving Amari that botched MRI? Poke, 25 times, poke, and you still can't draw blood? Obviously there was a problem. Right?
Tunneled under his skin so that they were a little bit more permanent and so it wouldn't cause infection. And I had to point out, I think, to 3 different nurses.
What makes this individual so fucking special that she's up on Laura Lynn's interview list? What? Why does Laura Lynn ignore me? Because I swear? She can't handle the truth that comes out of my mouth? Or maybe she's got a stake in it, in terms of, you know, that sign language that I'm starting to talk about.
Nurses, that's what that was for. They didn't even know. They had to call somebody up from a
controlled opposition, people.
Different department to show them. I've had to be after nurses for, you know, change your gloves after you, you know, clean up their, you know, bodily mess, right? And you just...
Hell, nurses only dote after dead bodies in the Surrey Memorial Hospital. Okay? For 9 fucking days, they dote. Dote, people, dote. The Lucy's in the hospitals at the Surrey Memorial Hospital dote on dead bodies on a fucking hospital bed for 9 days. Why doesn't Laura Lynn talk about that?
You know, you just change somebody here. Like, could you please put clean gloves on? Like,
oh, well, no, because she's got the great grand news flash right now, right? It's confirmation that we got a problem at the Surrey Memorial Hospital.
I swear, like, what is going on when no one's there? You know, and my kids
I have to say, I never want any loved one in Surrey Memorial for me personally ever again after what my father went through, and I'm sorry, but I showed
anywhere.
up when anywhere really.
Don't say you weren't fucking warned. I've been talking about it for 6 years, for crying out loud.
Like, keep them out of the hospital.
As a matter of fact, I'm a little suspicious as to how you even got them out of there in the first place. What made you so special? Sneaking in ivermectin yet. Okay. And you didn't get arrested for that shit, but you can go on fucking BitChute and broadcast it on live stream? Okay.
These are killing fields
telling people to go do it yourself, knowing that they can't get the shit? Okay.
Times. Thank God for your husband coming through, and I have no doubt it's because you...
I'm only mad, people, because this individual, I wanted to say bitch, but this individual, she's been ignoring me for a long fucking time now, okay? And the only thing that I can think of is she condones illegal organ harvesting in the province of British Columbia, Canada, because her and her friends, they benefit from it, people. There, I said it. I got it off my chest. Okay?
Have advocated so hard.
Don't come on any fucking YouTube channel, BitChute channel, and start interviewing somebody that talks about illegal organ harvesting in China when it's happening in your own backyard. Okay? Because it doesn't make you look real. It makes you look like that, what is it called? A sheep in wolf's clothing. Seriously.
You even went...
Don't talk about old people being abused at the Surrey Memorial Hospital when you bypass people like me, the first one to speak out against the medical kidnapping of the elderly.
So far as to hiring...
For their assets. Did your dad leave you a superannuation life insurance policy, or was he a broke block, and that's why they let him fucking walk out of the hospital? Give us the whole story. Uncle John inherited money, and they fucking stole it from him, and they doped him up. They castrated his brain, people.
a hospital advocate at one point.
Why don't you talk about that, Laura Lynn? Because you think Uncle John was the only one? No. No.
And I think that's fantastic. But I saw things, and I would tell them sometimes. I would ask them to reduce the oxygen.
And you have to remember, how is it that she got in without being vaccinated, sneaking in fucking drugs to her dad, okay, at the Surrey Memorial Hospital? Pastor Granny is at the Surrey Memorial Hospital. Nobody can go see her. Right? Nobody phones back the family, right? They don't even answer the fucking phone and let the family speak to anybody at the Surrey Memorial Hospital. But this one's running around, sneaking in ivermectin, doing this, doing that, taking her dad out of there. Yeah, okay. If that isn't controlled opposition, I don't know what is.
Levels that my father kept getting because I knew he was breathing well, because when they'd be out of the room, he'd have that thing off, and I'd be like, Dad, you got to put your oxygen in your nose, and then I'd notice, I'd be watching the numbers, and he's fine, he doesn't even need it.
Oh yeah, right. This was before they made it where you couldn't, you could go in and I guess be with a family member if you were unvaccinated. That's why she has the bragging rights to do it now, people. But you know what? Pastor Granny, died a month ago? That's not the case for that family, though, is it? No.
So I'm like, oh, they're coming, Dad, you got...
Is this one vaccinated? Is she allowed to see her husband? Huh? She must be vaccinated, because as it is right now, people, with the current things the way they are, Pastor Granny's children, many of her friends were unvaccinated. They were not allowed in. So what makes this one so special? Unless, of course, she's vaccinated.
I get that thing in your nose, and then...
She must be. Her husband's in the hospital right now at the Surrey Memorial Hospital. Right?
And I'd say, could you lower that just a little bit? Like, it was like playing games, because if you dare stand up too strong, you're on a real, tightrope here, because you don't want to tick them off, right? I even said that to one doctor, this is tough. I do not want to tick off any of these nurses, because I don't know what they'll do when I go home at night.
Fear-mongering.
But they certainly weren't great. When I was there was a couple of nurses, I have to say, I appreciated. The rest of them, oh my word. Sorry, I don't know if you've been in the business too long. And one of the doctors there at Surrey Memorial said, it's kind of true. Some people just shouldn't be nurses. Also, I was told by a staff member, two staff members, that my father would have...
See, I don't take this individual very serious, okay? Because her idea of illegal organ harvesting only happens in China. Okay?
Died if I wasn't there. Not of COVID pneumonia, of neglect, being in the hospital. And now that wasn't even when they had fired nurses for this.
Okay, Amari was injured at the time of the birth. Why doesn't she help to advocate for that? She got, some child that was kicked out of Ronald McDonald's talking on about that, promoting that stuff, looking for justice for that family. But she ignores my family, people. Why? She's in British Columbia, Canada, people. I've been on YouTube for 11 fucking years. Huh? What I mean is rhetoric. It's just a fucking paycheck. That's all. Give me a donation.
So, talk about stupidity reigning in our nation. And it just shudders me, and it makes me think that it's really not about this illness. There's something else going on. But
oh, well, gee, I wonder what it is. What is it? It's called illegal organ harvesting. It's called pillaging people's teeth if they've got it good, in a nice set of teeth. It's called robbing old people of their money, medically kidnapping them, right? That's what it's called. It's called heinous crimes being committed by the public union sector. Okay? If you're such a justice fucking warrior, why don't you stand up and tell the truth?
Survived it, Vicky, and I celebrate with you, and we are going to keep.
Oh, but she's godly. She doesn't get passionate, and when she does, it's just more like being giddy. Giddy. You know what giddy means? Giddy. Kind of like a fucking tweaker.
Praying until you see your husband come home.
Listen.
Thank you.
Listen.
I appreciate that.
Is
It's been a long journey.
Just listen.
It has been a long journey. I thank you for this update. I will just not ask you any more questions regarding, everything going on, because I know he's still in the hospital and we want him to get the best care. And I'm so grateful that you are reporting as well, that, you do feel that you have been listened to, I guess, even though you've had to stomp.
So I guess Dr. God, Dr. Death doesn't have to feel like she's being picked on. As if she's the only one.
Your feet and stand your ground in some respects. So we wish you all the best. Do you have any?
Sometimes, yeah.
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 Okay, now listen, just listen, okay? She makes sure she puts the fucking call out here, people, okay?
Sometimes we're listened to. A lot of times we just have to fight and push for, I'm always talking to the kids about ask for this, ask for that, and push, because sometimes I just don't think.
So what, the kids are allowed in there? She's telling the kids to ask. So they must be all vaccinated too. Okay? They didn't change the fucking rules in a month from now. If anything, they tightened the rules out here, people. Okay? So the numbers aren't matching up.
The doctors listen, and when there's issues going on, and sometimes I just wonder, do you even care? Do you even really care that someone's been in pain for 3 weeks, and yet you're not willing to do a scan? You're not, we don't really want to scan the patients very often, and it's like, what you're doing isn't working, and this has been 3 weeks now of intense waves of pain, and yeah, so it's a bit of a gauntlet. And you're right, there have been some very nice nurses. But for the most part, they've got their COVID protocols down, but I wonder about their hygiene. I think their brains have fallen out at times with, just normal daily hygiene, changing. They get so used to the gloves on their hands that they forget that they're on there sometimes. It's like, go change your gloves. You just did that. You shouldn't be touching anything else, right? But yeah, we're hanging in there, and we're just hoping, even if, see, Chris is still on dialysis.
See? There you go, people. See? Chris is still on dialysis. He needs a liver, people. Okay? On the books, there's over 600 people, apparently. The last time I checked was about a year or two ago. 600 people that were on the organ donation recipient list. Okay, that's why we've got 1,700 people dying from fentanyl within the year, where their bodies are being pillaged to fill that demand. Okay, a demand that, Laura Lynn doesn't want to talk about. But this one will make sure she puts out the call. He's still on dialysis. Well, if he's still on dialysis, he's always going to be on dialysis until he either dies or he gets a liver. Where do you think the liver is going to come from, people? Tell me!
So that's one of the big things right now, and so that's pretty much why I'm keeping him where he is, and we just have to get the food thing down. But after that, we're hoping that we'll be able to bring him home and we can do stuff as an outpatient. So
we pray for that.
That's the hope.
We pray for that.
Thank you.
Yes. Awesome,
Thank
Vicky.
you.
Please keep us posted. Everybody's praying for you. Everyone out there, please say a prayer for Chris.
Yeah, okay. Okay, I'm going to end that, okay? Because you know what? For everything that my family has been through, and how this individual cherry picks who she interviews and how she does it, don't talk to me about illegal organ harvesting when there's 1,700 plus people dying in this province within a year because of fentanyl, where a lot of those deaths are murder, people, as the police cover it up. Why doesn't Laura Lynn talk about that? Because if she exposes it, her friend with the husband that needs the liver might not get it. Are you connecting the dots here? Okay, I'm just fed up, people. We're going to listen a little bit more. It's kind of intriguing. Let's just listen.
Prayer for Chris, and pray that he will one day live to see the goodness of the Lord in the land of the living and be at home.
In the land of the living, on a dialysis machine.
We want him to be home. So we will not stop praying. Thank you, Vicki. God bless you.
Thanks, Laura Lynn. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, I'm going to bring on my...
As long as you got money, okay? If you got money, you can buy what you need out here, people. All right? Just remember that. Got a lot of crooked doctors out here. We got a lot of crooked nurses out here. We got a lot of crooked fucking cops out here. We got a lot of crooked freaking paramedics out here. We got a lot of crooked freaking politicians out here, okay?
Next guest, there's no end of dramas related to all that has gone on. We have had unprecedented amounts of lockdowns and tyranny going on in our nation, to the point of our Charter of Rights and Freedoms being completely violated, and thus being spoken of in that manner by the Honorable Brian Peckford, the last remaining architect of the Charter of Rights and Freedoms, and
I'm just going to give you an example what money can buy, okay?
Our rights and freedoms are being completely violated, and I couldn't agree more. And a lot of people in this land just shocking, just bowing. Oh, if the government says, then I'm going to do it. Oh, yeah, I'm going to get my kids vaccinated.
You have to remember now, this is a fine Christian woman with her daddy's Bible on the table, preaching the gospel.
Line me up, Are you kidding me? Do not do any research. Do not have two brain cells to rub together, because I'm telling you something, the evidence is out there. It's actually not hard to find at all. And I don't know why businesses are complying with all of this. I mean, I've been having fun still eating at restaurants. I just go in and I talk to the manager or the owner, and I let them know that I have lots of money to spend at their, well, not a lot, but I got money to spend at your restaurant, and I see that you have one couple in your restaurant. Can we eat here? And I've been let in. So just letting you know what works, everybody. Just go, don't talk to the waitress, talk to the manager or the owner. And just say, listen, I'm not in agreement with this. I am not vaccinated. I want to be very honest with you, but I've had COVID. I'm not sick. I'd just like to spend money at your restaurant so you don't lose your restaurant and your business because the government is telling you that you have to do something unconstitutional to the rest of society. I cannot tell you how evil this is, how bad this is. We've heard from people over and over again on our show.
But just go against the law, because you got money. Money will buy you freedom. Money will buy you a liver. Money will buy you teeth. Money will buy you a skin suit. Money will buy you more money.